Nobody is satisfied here. This is a corruption-rigged country where the most basic services such as medical care, health care, pensions, public transport, everything's bad. Wherever you go, it's a mess.
Problem is not that the parties in power don't change, or sometimes even the faces. Problem is that the change that is promised is never delivered. We will fight corruption. We will finally get into the EU. We will take this country to NATO. We will bring peace. We will bring investments. We will build highways. But then when they come into power, it doesn't happen. And then this is what leads to apathy.
We have political leaders of Bosnian Serbs denying genocide publicly, what is now against the law, but not only denying genocide, but threatening that he will create an army of this entity, and the army of this entity, when it used to exist, did biggest crimes against humanity. So, of course, this is not good.
And now we are having the elections in several months, and these are going to be the most terrifying elections that we have. You feel fear in the air, that people are afraid of what the elections might bring in. And as you know, elections can always be a catalyzer for conflict. People are just wanting to wake up in November and sleep through the whole election process.
My hopes for the upcoming elections are sort of mixed because, unfortunately, on the state level, which kind of seems ridiculous, but there's even more manipulation involved. And this year is the best way to show it. I mean, we've had a prolonged political crisis. Definitely the nationalistic parties do feel threatened because, trust me, otherwise they wouldn't be doing all that they're doing.
Look, this is a frozen conflict. Bosnia and Herzegovina is a frozen conflict. So if Dodik goes on with his rhetoric, if this is allowed by the West, then we're going to have a potential conflict zone here. I mean, Bosnians don't want a war, but they know that in case that Dodik grabs Brčko, the next thing he's going to do is try to grab Sarajevo back. He won't stop in Brčko.
So I think on our side, on the side of civil society, we also have a chance here to sort of swoop in a little bit and flip the script. And I'm not saying there's a lot of smarter options, but there's some that are obviously smarter and definitely not smart. Then you might be leaving yourself in this situation for another 2 years. And it might not be war, but this is also not worth living in, right? Because it's constant fear, it's constant insecurity.
It would be much easier if we just went on as a civic state, but not put ethnic parameters in every single thing we do.
Changes are really necessary here, and that's the only truth. Changes on every single level, on the level of the state, of politicians, leaders, of public opinion. Changes are just simply, they're necessary, definitely.